How's it going, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing well. I've got another review for you guys today, and I'm going to be taking a look at a fragrance from one of my favorite brands. You know, if my entire fragrance collection was made up of fragrances from these brands, I'd be absolutely fine with it. And this one is called Ombre Leather from the brand Tom Ford. So I've been working off a fairly decent sized decant here. So I don't have any full bottles or anything like that to show you, but really worked my way through this one quite quickly in the colder weather. This one is a fragrance I really like, and I think for me it's definitely full bottle worthy. So going on to Ombre Leather, the notes for this one, or the ones that I've on the website that I'm on at the moment, there is notes of cardamom and jasmine, black leather, patchouli, white moss, and amber. I think this is definitely a fragrance for cooler and colder weather. I think it has a formality to it, but also, you know, I've worn it casually. You know, I've worn it to work, that kind of thing. It suits, for me, I think, in the most optimum condition, kind of like a dinner, you know, or going to the bar, that kind of thing. I think it's one of those more alluring scents. I would say wear this one with caution. You know, a few sprays goes a very long way. You might like that more bombastic style. You might want people to smell you before you step into a room, but with this one, I just think you got to be a little bit more careful. For my if you don't want to be like choking everyone out kind of thing. Performance is great. Longevity is all day, and I think because I feel this is a very synthetic fragrance, a lot of synthetic notes, they tend to just hang on the skin and just last and last and last. So no problems there. I do feel it's a very masculine fragrance, but of course, you know, you can do what you want, whatever gender you are. It just, for me, in my interpretation, it's more on the masculine side. So getting into this fragrance, you know, this is supposed to be a slightly different version, basically, of the Private Blend's Tuscan Leather, which I find a little bit too harsh, but there are some very nice sides to it. I prefer Ombre Leather, though, it has to be said. You know, in the opening of this fragrance, what I get is this kind of smoky, leathery effect, almost oil-like, almost like you can feel the slickness of oil on top of a leather jacket, but mixed in with this very dense kind of shisha smoke. So I'm not really a fan of shisha, but you know, when you get that, when you walk past somebody or people who are smoking it, it can smell very sweet. So I get that element, but mix that in with this kind of oil slick and this black leather jacket, and it kind of combines to not make it a sickly sweet smell, but all of that comes together. You know, it's a combination of all these things, and I really like that. It's something very different, but I don't feel like it's something that is too wild. You know, I did get some compliments with this one. It's not too crazy where it's going to put people off. I mean, you know, if somebody didn't like this fragrance on me, maybe they just didn't say, but you know, a few compliments I definitely got with this one. There's almost like a tree kind of sappy kind of feel to this, almost like a wet kind of patchouli vibe with this one. It does feel quite foresty in some ways, but still all within this bubble of, you know, quite a fairly strong leather note. You know, I have a friend of mine who we were talking about fragrances. He's not massively into fragrances, but he said he has a friend at work who wears a Tom Ford fragrance, and he says it just smells of leather. And I said to him, is it, you know, Ombre Leather? And he thinks it is that one. It's either that or Tuscan Leather. But yeah, it is fairly realistic, but mixed in with a lot of other ingredients as well that kind of help to amplify this leathery accord. It's very nice. I think it's certainly more on the bolder side. You know, a lot of Tom Ford fragrances do contain these deeper, maybe more exotic, you could say, or certainly more daring type notes. But I feel like this fragrance doesn't go too far off the deep end, and actually it has a wearability factor, which I really appreciate. I think sometimes Tom Ford fragrances, while they can be out there, some of them like Tobacco Oud or Oud Wood Intense, Tuscan Leather, Noir de Noir to an extent, can sometimes just be a little bit too much to handle. This is a really, really nicely balanced fragrance, a nice bit of spiciness in there as well. And overall, a real winner for me. I'm just smelling my hand to see if there's anything else. I mean, there's almost like a slightly oody effect in here. You know, it's not listed. I don't think it's listed. No, it's not listed on the note breakdown, but you know, I think if the oud was mentioned in this note breakdown, totally, I think people would maybe mention that a little bit more. It's got a almost a Nasomato Black Afghano kind of vibe to it. So yeah, maybe bordering on being quite a wild fragrance, but a couple of sprays go, as I said, go a really long way. So I think this is really, really worth checking out, and I'm going to give this a rating of 9 out of 10. There's no, I don't really have any criticisms with this fragrance. You know, I could give it a 10, but there are fragrances that I prefer, which I benchmark against those. So yeah, 9. Pretty good score. Definitely a good one. Guys, let me know what you think. Have you tried this one? Do you like it? Are you kind of on the fence, or do you really hate it? Whatever your view is, let me know. And yeah, that's it. Tom Ford, great brand. You know, I think they are one of the best fragrance brands out there. I think so. So yeah, guys, check me out on Instagram if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again, as always, for all your support. Bye.